Have your children ever begged you to get a pet? Well, then you're not alone. It seems like most children's biggest wish is to get a cat or a dog. But as cute as they are, pets require a lot of time and attention. And, of course, they get bigger, sometimes much bigger as they grow up. That last point can sometimes be a problem for families who didn't really think it through before getting their children a dog, for example. The story of Patch the dog is unlike anything you've ever heard. Like so many kids before them, Andrew and Clara Davis wanted nothing more than to add a dog to the family. For them, a little extra responsibility was a fine price to pay for a pooch. Their parents, Nola and Richard, weren't quite ready for a dog. That is, until they heard about one recently put up for adoption named Patch. Richard recalled the day he and his wife brought Patch home. "We tricked the kids," he said. "We had a dog hidden in the back seat and they couldn't see it. They were looking in there going, 'What is it?' And when they finally saw the dog, I just lost it and I started crying because I was so excited," little Clara said. Andrew and Clara finally got their wish. They were elated. Patch, meanwhile, joined his new family as though he'd been a part of the Davis clan all along. He fit right in. The family noticed, though, that there was one thing Patch despised. He did not like the water. He didn't like going to the bathtub or the bathroom or taking his baths. But soon, water was the least of Patch's worries. As puppies are prone to do, Patch grew, and grew, and grew. As he continued to grow, Nola, below, started worrying. Just how big was this little dog going to get? As Patch started to grow, they realized that maybe they had made a mistake. He was going to be a big dog, and the house was awfully small. They didn't have a big yard, and they didn't really have a place for Patch to stay. So the Davis family discussed their options, some of which were heartbreaking. What if, Nola and Richard said, they gave Patch to another home? One that had enough space for the big pooch to run around and use his energy. A home fit for a canine king. But Andrew refused. "No!" shouted little Andrew. "I would build a fence or something." The young man's dedication to the dog convinced Nola and Richard to wait a few days before making a final decision. Days later, Nola relaxed in the bathtub with the radio turned up to full volume. She was home alone, so she jumped when Patch came running into the bathroom, his least favorite room in the house. Even stranger, Patch ran into the room with a purpose. He sunk his teeth into Nola's dangling arm. The heck? Had the dog gotten wind of the family's plan to kick him out? Soon, though, Nola realized Patch wasn't biting her, but pulling her. He wanted to show her something. She stepped out of the tub, grabbed a robe, and prepared herself to throw Patch out. But then she saw smoke. She opened the bathroom door and saw the house engulfed in flames. Worse, opening the door sucked the fire into the bathroom, setting that room ablaze too. Patch and Nola were surrounded by fire. Blinded by smoke, Patch led Nola through the burning home with the skill of a firefighter, turning every so often to make sure she was still following him. Finally, thanks to Patch, she made it to the front yard. Not thinking clearly, Nola wanted to run back into the house to grab her car keys, but Patch blocked the way and pushed her away. He wasn't going to let her face that danger. Seconds later, fire exploded from the windows. The fire, caused by an electrical short, burned everything the Davis family owned to ash. But not Nola, and certainly not Patch. And the dog knew he'd been the hero. "He was walking with pride," Clara said. "Like, oh, I'm a good dog." He knew he did something, and every time you gave him a treat, he was like, "I did this, and now I get all the attention." As to whether or not to give Patch away, well, Nola and Richard had an easy answer to that dilemma. The family bought a new home in Montana, one with a yard and plenty of space Patch could play in. And later, the incredible dog even got a Heroes Award from the American Red Cross.